Cricket, US Open, cricket.
Well, good day, and you're looking at MaqTV, of course. Welcome again, and my co-host today, Mohammed Ahmed Qureshi. You will normally see us on the Yorker program, and as I said before, Mark, the response from the Yorker program has been excellent. But this is not the Yorker program. This is what we're going to call the US T20 show, and from now until the end of November, when you have that wonderful program, that wonderful tournament, which is going to rival some of the T20 tournaments across the world, trust me, this show will continue and bring life to cricket at the US Open. So this is the US Open, and on this show, from now leading up to that time, you will get an opportunity to meet some of the players who are taking part. You'll also get to meet the officials, and hopefully we'll be able to give you a better understanding of what is going to happen here in Fort Lauderdale as far as the US Open is concerned. Before I introduce my co-host, I want to make it very clear that the US Open of the years gone by, though being pretty good and well organized, this one promises to be the best ever. And on today's show, just to give you a quick rundown of what you're going to have on today's show, you're going to meet two of the players. One is Rajesh Sharma from India. He did have experience playing in the IPL. And the other is Zishan Qureshi, who did have experience of playing in the Caribbean Premier League with the Guyana Amazon Warriors. You know, he had the opportunity to be with the guys. Obviously, he would have learned a lot. And today, he's going to bring that experience as well. This young man actually has been associated with the US T20, I think at the age of 8. He started off. And you know what's the funny thing? At his current age, he looks fitter than when he was the age of 8. Having said that, let me introduce Mark. Mark, welcome.
Yes, Vinode, welcome. We're here for the US Open to how we start the tournaments in 2008. And basically that's the foundation, but 2009 is the first US Open ever been played. There was 12 teams. Now this is growing number of the teams coming in, and then as you know, the US Open is sanctioned and approved by ICC in this year 2016, and we have played to meet a number of the best players on the top of the world, and we would like to be promote this tournament. One is the top tournament in North America.
Yes, definitely the top tournament, and it has been approved by the International Cricket Council as well. And just to give you an idea of what is in store, you have prizes in the range of 100,000 US for this tournament. It's a Thanksgiving weekend, right, and of course it's being promoted across this region, and also through Cricket Council USA website, the MaqTV as well, and all the other regions. It is also gaining a lot of attention in the Caribbean. Trust me, players have been messaging, you know, they want to get involved. I think up till just yesterday, Nevin Stewart, one of the players who would have played for the Barbados Tridents, he was just messaging, wanting to, you know, they want to be in the loop. Everyone wants to take part. Everyone seems to want to be your friend these days, Mac. But many years ago when you started, all you had was a vision. Now it has become reality. And just in a few weeks' time, I think you'll have a wonderful spectacle at the Broad County Ground where the games will also be live on ESPN. Am I right?
Yeah, correct. And this is basically 24th and Thanksgiving weekend, one of the biggest holiday in the United States, in America. And this is the weekend we have the tournaments hosting 24 to 27, and they have the scheduling out, with the timings out, and then ESPN live telecasting, and also ESPN and MaqTV, Caribbean TV. There's one other Indian channel. They just approach us to be showing the live feed there. So which is other blessing to the US Open for this year. This is gonna 4 TV channels. We're gonna be promoting this TV's live games on Thanksgiving weekend 24th. 8 in the morning is opening ceremony, ending ceremony on the 27th is 7 o'clock is evening. So there's the games, the number of the stadium playing 15 games on the stadiums, and it will watch on live at 9 o'clock the first games on 24th.
Well, you know, during the course of the day, and we know Americans are very busy people, but during the course of the day, you can drop in at the Broad County Ground. If you can't make 9 o'clock, but then you can make up until 11 in the night. I believe the action goes right on until 11 in the night.
Yes, basically the last game is playing in the, until 11 o'clock, so anybody can come in. So there is like 4 games on day, on Thursday and Friday, and Saturday 4 games, and it start morning 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and then final is on semi-final, final on the Sunday. This is a big day for the best players.
And this is a wonderful opportunity to bring your kids along. You know, they can meet the players, two of our players who will be here today, and that is Zishan and Rajesh. And I know that they have a passion for kids, and you know, you can bring your kids on. And I'm going to question them about what they can do to help in the development of cricket. Because remember, Cricket Council USA, which is the parent body of this US Open tournament, they're into development as well. So there's something for everyone. But before I send the third best batsman in the Qureshi family off the show, I have one final question for you. In terms of investors and business opportunities, there must be opportunities for sponsors and other investors to come on board the US Open.
Yes, we just launching out and the investment opportunity for this US Open after got all the sanction approved. Number of the country they want participating on the teams players. We have 65 well-recognized players is coming to play in US Open this year. So we give them opportunity to the investor to come and join in US Open, and there is the teams owners can be part, or you can invest on the teams. There's 8 teams is open to invest, and which is very number. The investing the money, they're putting on the money on the players, transportations and all, advertisement, marketing, foods and lodgings. So Cricket Council is not offering to collect money for extra out of there. The only thing they're trying to have on the teams. This is a dream world. Everybody want on the teams, and this is the best way you can on the teams and come and play in US Open.
Well, wonderful. Thanks for joining us, Mak. And as we take a break, just remember, coming up, we have 2 young men joining us. We have Zishan Qureshi, the second best batsman in the Qureshi clan, because the best batsman, in my opinion, is the 18-month-old Ayan Qureshi. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. You're looking at the US Open show, and of course, you know, we're having great excitement, great expectations leading up to the end of November, the Thanksgiving weekend, 24th to 27th of November, when you will see some of the world's best players in the T20 format joining us. Now, joining us today for this show is a man who have had experience playing in the CPL with the Guyana Amazon Warriors. And you know, there's always a saying that people may pack their cars and go to the beach, but they never get a chance to bathe. I always tell Omar Khan, the manager of the Guyana Amazon Warriors, that the Warriors always reaches the final and they can't win it. And Sean, welcome to the show. You were there with the guys. Must have really been a heartbreaking experience.
Yeah, the whole composure of the team fell apart after the toss. It was a good experience, but we couldn't win in the end.
Yeah, well, I did see you across there in St. Kitts. Well, must have been a tremendous experience just being amongst the players and you know, gaining. I know you were very close to Sohail Tanvir, and most of the guys who came from Pakistan to play. One guy, I don't even want to call his name because he was very destructive yesterday, and you know, he took 5 for 14. I will let Sean call his name for Pakistan. They did beat the world champions yesterday, the West Indies, and being with these guys must have given you the opportunity to also improve your game, which will now benefit the teams that you are playing with at the US Open.
Of course. I learned a lot. Bowling to top players really helped me improve my bowling. Getting to work with the coaches to work on the technique, every little thing helped. Everything they told me helped. And now I just want to take back what I learned, the training methods that I learned, and use them here, use them with whatever teams I play with going forward, and maybe use them to teach kids.
Well, I know you're at university. I don't know how much work you would have been able to achieve since the CPL to now, but I'm sure that you'll be hitting the fields very soon in preparations for the US Open.
Definitely. Right now it's a little slow. It's just training in the gym, getting fit, but coming as US Open comes closer, we're all going to be getting ready to put our hearts out for the tournament.
And when you look at cricket in the United States, you know, you look at principal people who have developed cricket here. Of course, Mak is one. Mak being really the engine room down in this region for pushing cricket. And as Zishan, of course, is Mak's son. And everyone is so excited about the Broad Cricket Ground at the International Stadium, the only recognized ICC venue in North America. He turned the sod and he faced the first ball. Mark, you must be very proud about that. That at the age of 8, he went out there. I think we had one Javid Miandad bowling that delivery to him, and now he's there playing in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I just made a 2 years mistake. Basically, there was a 10 years old. He was 10 years old and the youngest players on the squad with the 4 teams. Javed Miandad came in with the Pakistan All-Star teams, and he threw the first ball to against the World All-Star, and then Sean was playing with that World All-Star first ball facing on the same stadium where the international games playing now these days.
Well, that would have happened at the age of 10. I'm sure you have very fond memories of that ground, and you would want to star in this year's tournament.
Yeah, I've been playing at that ground since 2008, since the first tournament, and every year the ground gets better. And after playing on the ground with Guyana Amazon Warriors for CPL, I look forward to playing that game on that ground in US Open.
Well, we have been following the careers of the principal players who we have at the US Open. Now remember, a number of top class players will be flying into play, but then you have the homegrown players like Sean, who have been, throughout every tournament of the US Open he has played in, and, he has gotten success. But in recent times, we have been following his career at Cricket Council USA, and you are informed. You did take a bag full of wickets in Chicago just recently. How was that experience?
Chicago was great. It was my first chance after CPL to really show people how I improved and where my career is going after CPL.
Well, it was wonderful indeed, and he was able to get amongst the wickets there. I'm sure that working with Rajesh, I think Rajesh was the captain, was he?
Yes.
Rajesh Sharma was the captain. Rajesh, of course, Maq seems to call him some sort of mystery bowler. He seems to call Maq a mystery in himself, but that's a different story. But what is the best thing you think could happen at this year's US Open for you as a player?
As a player, the best thing that could happen is to top the wicket charts.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I started bowling, I've had a lot of success, and it just keeps getting better. So after CPL, with the things I took out of there and with my performance in Chicago, hopefully I can top the charts.
Well, I know you're putting a lot of emphasis in your academic career. Also, you must know that the CPL would have provided an opportunity for your name to be amongst, the cricketing world, the cricketing fraternity in terms of T20 cricket. And now, with this tournament being on ESPN, it's another opportunity for you to really sell your services to the world. There are other T20 tournaments that people may be very interested in you coming to play.
Exactly. We don't get many opportunities in America for exposure, especially with cricket. So with all these, with CPL and now with ESPN recording this tournament, it gives all of the local guys a chance to expose themselves to the rest of the world.
I also know that a number of people in Trinidad and Tobago especially, they are following us on MaqTV because of our connections across there. And there's a domestic tournament next year. That's the domestic tournament in Trinidad and Tobago. That tournament is actually used by fellows looking on to pull players for the Red Steel in the CPL. And I'm sure that you'll be looking on. I know that Sean I don't know how his academic work and the timing that he has, and whether Maq would allow him to go. But there may be clubs looking on at you, Sean. I've already gotten some sort of interest from a particular club because of the relationship I have with Cricket Council USA, and the story that came out of Chicago. They're asking about you. So who knows? Will you be interested in going to Trinidad and playing the domestic T20 tournament?
I'm always interested to go places to play cricket. I've had a lot of offers and I haven't had time, but depending on the dates of Trinidad, I'd love to play.
And of course, and I know those guys at Mary Boy Sports Club will be very keen to hear that from young Sean Qureshi. Sean, I want to thank you for joining us on the US Open
Thank
show.
you for having me.
And also, just to put you on notice that we will want to use you as one of the principal players moving forward in promoting this tournament as we head into November.
My pleasure.
Well, it's been a pleasure having Sean here. Of course, I know that Maq is very proud of him and the wonderful young man that he has developed into, and also he's a better batsman than Maq, I must say. On that note, let's take a short break. When you come back, you meet the Indian star, Rajesh Sharma. Welcome back as we continue this edition of the US Open Cricket Show. And this is a show that will become very popular as we move along to November. You'll have just heard from Zishan Qureshi, one of the young upcoming stars. And another one joining us now was the captain of the team in Chicago, and that's Rajesh Sharma. Of course, Mohammed Qureshi, my co-host, is here. And during this segment, you're going to have the opportunity of listening to Rajesh speaking English, and Mak is also going to interview him in Hindi. So everyone should, at the end of this interview, understand whether Rajesh is running, sitting, jumping, or just doing what he loves best, which is playing cricket. Welcome, Rajesh.
Yeah. Let me introduce the Rajesh Sharma. He came in first time approached by one of his sponsors, is Arvind from India, and then we invite him over here in the US Open to play. And he was have experience with the play US Open. He knows about US Open, and he's been played the US Open, and then also he invite number of his friends, which are top players from India, and he play for IPL and also ICL. Yeah. And Rajesh is here for, also running the US Cricket Academy here also for promoting young kids. And he is one of the top, from my view, is one of the top bowler for India when he came in here to join in US Open. And his ball is hard to play. It's a numerical ball. If you look at it, it's a magic ball he have. He can do the dusra, and also he have done. So we like this bowling, and then we ask him to stay in US and help them up the young players, and also play for US Opens and make him as a captain. He been played for US Open, one of the teams. Now he here joining with us, and we introducing him. Rajesh, tell him about yourself. Where did you play, and why did you came to play? How you know about US Open came to play? कैसे पता चला तुम्हें?
First of all, thank you very much, Mohammed Qureshi boss. You take me here very good. And second thing, जब से मैं यहाँ आया हूँ मुझे 1 साल हो चला है, और जब मैं इंडिया में थे, आई वाज इन इंडिया, तो कि मुझे पता लगा कि यहाँ पे US ओपन होता है, अमेरिका में क्रिकेट है, तो मुझे एक ही नाम पता था कि US ओपन होता है, वहाँ पे बहुत बड़ा टूर्नामेंट हो रहा है, वो 7 साल से रनिंग है। तो मैं कनाडा गया, वहाँ पे लोग यही बात कर रहे कि US ओपन होता है, हम भी जा रहे खेलने। तो मेरे ये फ्रेंड है अरविंद, मैंने उनसे बात करी कि वांट टू प्ले देयर, वो कहते थे ये अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी है, वहाँ पे जो लोग हैं ऐसे जाओ खेलो ट्राई करो। तो मैं आया तो मैंने देखा कि फ्लोरिडा में क्रिकेट, मुझे अच्छा लगा ना कि इतना बड़ा टूर्नामेंट यहाँ पे हो रहा है। तो जैसे स्टार्टिंग में जैसे देखा लोगों को खेलते हैं, यहाँ पे कम से कम 25 टीमें हैं क्रिकेट खेल रही, और यहाँ पे जो 25 टीमें क्रिकेट खेल रही है उनमें बच्चे नहीं खेलते।
Well, Rajesh, actually, I understood nothing you said just now, but I'm sure that our Indian viewers would enjoy what he just said. And basically, he's just promoting a tournament that he has played in. And just to give him what we're going to do is we're going to have a Hindi question and English as well as we move forward. You just played in Chicago, and you must be looking forward. Your team did reach the semifinals, I believe, and you and your spin twin, Zishan Qureshi, you were very destructive on that occasion. I'm sure you're looking to bring that sort of talent to the US Open.
Yeah.
And then also, and I'm gonna ask him up in a Hindi question. Basically, how you preparing to play US Open this year? कैसे तुम्हें अच्छा टूर्नामेंट इतने सारे शिकागो में भी खेले और इसमें खेले, US Open कैसा लगा आपको?
US ओपन इस अमेरिका में सबसे बड़ा प्लेटफॉर्म है फॉर क्रिकेट। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि इस साल में ये सबसे बेस्ट टूर्नामेंट होगा। इस लाइक IPL जो मैं देख रहा हूँ, जो चल रही है, तैयारी चल रही है, जो मैं चीज़ें देख रहा हूँ, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है देख के।
तो कौन कौन से प्लेयर आपने इस साल bring in from could you tell the audience what players they are interesting to play in US Open this year 2016 on November?
ओके देखो सर, इंडिया में प्लेयर एवरीबॉडी वांट टू प्ले US ओपन, पर क्या है दैट टाइम इज फर्स्ट क्लास गोइंग ऑन, बट प्लेयर कह रहे हैं हम फिर भी खेलेंगे।
Which one is coming in? Like sure there was a few players.
इसे जोगिंदर शर्मा फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, एंड नंबर 8 मनप्रीत गोनी, गुरकीरत मान, they all are say Ramesh Pawar, like international player, like 8-9 players.
So there's a lot of Indian players coming and playing US Open, and then Rajesh is I have known them and they're playing. I got one of the coach from the India is coming, and he's also coaching one of my IPL teams. Is gonna come in coach on the tournament. And also Rajesh, tell me about your experience. You play IPL, you play, and ICL, you play, and you came to play U.S. Open. Last time you played U.S. Open, standard of U.S. Open, and the ground you seen.
Yeah.
How compared to the India and other international field you've been play, how was it?
It's similar. It's similar because they stay in a 5-star. They provide everything. It's a USN same like that.
So US Open have the same standard
It's like
they have
IPL,
international.
ICL. I was playing in 2008 in ICL and in 2009 I was in a squad of the IPL Night Rider. That is same thing in
Same standard.
US Open.
So basically, America can produce one of the top tournaments, which is called U.S. Open, and standard level is same IPL and ICL
Yes.
and standard level, which is good news to let them know the people they know they come join and play U.S. Open. And what do you think on this the ground? You saw this India came to play
Yeah.
against West Indies,
Yeah.
and you see a lot of people came and seen, and you was there, and you met the Virat Kohli and. Your wicket keepers, Dhoni, and all they came and play. And do you talk about this U.S. cricket? How is the U.S. cricket grounds
Yeah.
and anything else? You talk to them.
Mhm.
So बात किया था किसी से
हाँ.
कैसे?
मैंने शिखर से बात किया.
शिखर धवन.
शिखर धवन से मैंने बात किया. उसने ने बोला कि आई लव कि यहाँ का एटमोसफेयर देखे. क्रिकेट के लिए कितना अच्छा वेदर है, कितने अच्छे लोग आ रहे हैं देखने. और सबसे बड़ी चीज़ उसने वो ये बोली, कहता यहाँ पे बच्चों को ग्रो अप करो. और मेरे जो बॉस है मोहम्मद रशीद, ये दिस थिंग इज डूइंग, ओनली बच्चों को ग्रो अप कर रहे हैं.
So basically, there was his experience was Indian team experience, one of the best field they had, and standard very high scale standard in Broward County Cricket Stadium, and where they were going to be playing U.S. Open this year 2016 November. Watching live and come see the tournaments and internationally. A lot of Indians, Pakistani and West Indies and all over the world. Interesting and eye on it is many players. I can give you a number of 65 international players which is coming South Africa to Australia to all this thing joining this year. And one of the Rajesh Sharma was saying because there is IPL during the tournament there is a Ranji Trophy playing, but still some of the players are coming in to join, and this is the only tournament has been between PSL and CPLs and all, and no Indian players in participant playing, and this is US Open have number of Indian players coming participate, which is blessing for the cricket in the United States, and they want to look forward to see it this year.
Yes, of course, and we know that a number of players from the West Indies will be here as well. They're lining up to come. Everyone wants to come. The first prizes and all the prizes are very lucrative for a tournament like this coming on board. There are millions of tournaments all over the world, T20 tournaments. There are a number of them in the United States. This one, the US Open, I think this is at the top of the heap, Mark.
Yes, this is a great tournament will be, and this is the people is here local to internationally. Looking forward to it every year for this tournament, and they are been waiting and waiting. People get trainings and all special trainings. Even Rajesh Sharma is in the camps here also. They have Saturday, Sunday camps. A lot of them are local players coming in and train with him, and to looking forward to see it. For them, the US Open is like a World Cup for US. This is the only tournament out there which has been playing, and this is hopefully this year basically is more growing and better cricket's coming up.
Well, this US Open cricket show will be a weekly event on MaqTV, and I think next week we may, Mark, we should go down to the Mark Cricket Ground where Rajesh has that camp, and we should do something on Saturday where we can show people that this tournament is not only about people coming here to play. It's about people coming here to play, and Mark always reminds me of this. This is really US cricket. It's for US people, but they're investing in bringing in the foreigners so that they can build the quality of the tournament, they can take it forward. We just have one segment to go again today, and while Rajesh was actually crying at the Broward County Cricket Ground when India lost to the West Indies, people in the West Indies were very happy. They were jubilant because finally the West Indies could have won something. And I'm not going to say what happened yesterday against Pakistan. I'm going to leave that right there. But joining us for the last segment is a businessman from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm going to put him on the spot. He's going to give a perspective of how he felt as a West Indian when the West Indies team came to America, and whether he thought that cricket was so big in America. But before you go, Rajesh, I always ask international players this question. What kind of ball is this?
This one? It's in swing.
No, this is the leather ball.
Yeah.
On that note, we take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back as we are now through the final session of this week's US Open Cricket Show. Remember, it's a weekly event. Let me welcome the operations manager of the US Open, and that is a man who works every day. Considering, the tournament will end on the 27th, and on the 28th, he goes back to the office planning for next year's tournament as well. And that's Sufyan Kamal. Sufyan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I know that you have been working very hard indeed to make things happen. We're going to go into a little details with that a little later. And also, I said before, we have someone from the West Indies, a very distinguished gentleman, Mr. Vance Gabriel, who is here just on a little vacation, looking on and seeing. He heard about cricket up here, so he's getting a first-hand view of what's happening. Vance, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Do you think that, did you ever have in your mind the concept that cricket could have ever taken off in the United States?
I think, sure, of course, yes. The United States is famous for sporting events, and I believe if cricket were to actually become popular here, I believe that, wow, cricket would have reached.
Yes, definitely. So we all know about the US market, and coming from a business background as well, sport today is not the same as before. I just mentioned earlier on that we have Sufyan, who works every day for this US Open. He has his office. I'm not going to say how luxurious it is, but he has his office, and he's preparing for this US Open. Sport has become big business, and as a businessman, I think you would recognize that.
Well, I believe that in everything that we do, whether it's a social club or anything, business has to play an important role.
Yes, and we're seeing that happening. Sufyan, I know it has been a lot of work. Every day you will go to the office. How difficult it has been this year as compared to the other years in terms of your workload?
I wouldn't say it's changed much. If anything, it's just become more specific just because as we've been doing it, we start fine-tuning all the different processes that we go through every year. It's nothing new, but everything's just being more fine-tuned every year.
And I know that a number of other entities are now coming. You have ESPN, they're very interested in taking the live coverage, and that's going to go across the world on ESPN3. You also have investors, people looking to buy the teams.
Yes.
It brings a lot more responsibility on the association, on you and the organizing committee, because as before, it's not only about putting together a tournament, you have the business aspect to deal with as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we've been looking into different aspects of trying to expand the tournament. We've gone all the way up to, I think the maximum was 42 teams at one point. We started dialing it back over the last few years. We took it down to, if I remember correctly, it was 32, and we took it down to 26, and this year we might change that up, and I wouldn't say it's up in the air right now, but don't quote me on it. I think we're going to be aiming for 16 teams this year.
Yes, I know that you'll have the Premier League with 8 and then the 8 others. But what is the idea of trimming the league? I know at one time, over the last few years, coming here to cover this tournament, at one time you had over 100 applications for teams to come in. What is the idea of trimming it down now?
The U.S. Open, the way Cricket Council feels about the U.S. Open, it's been around for many years. It's always been the biggest tournament throughout the United States, well, North America, technically speaking. However, what we've always wanted to do with it was try different aspects. So the first aspect that we wanted to explore was to see how many teams we could get into the tournament, just to have everyone participating, have all the different countries come in, have all the different states come in, have as many teams as possible, to basically introduce as many players to the sport, and anyone that's interested in getting into the sport to the sport. So we took that aspect on. We went ahead and we expanded out to 10 playing grounds, which wasn't a big deal to manage, but it was definitely a chore. So we decided, and well, because of that, a side effect of having 10 different grounds was the audience got split throughout all the different grounds. So what we decided was, in order to bring the audience in, maybe we need to start limiting it down to maybe, I think last year we went down to 9 grounds, but we were still at 26 teams. This year we're planning on having 16, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're only going to be using 3 fields, which are located in the same park, so we can have everyone come in. You can walk from field to field, watch a game here, walk over, take a few steps, watch another game over there. So basically, what we're trying to do with this is bring more people in, show the United States what cricket is, and pretty much show the world that the United States knows what cricket is, and we're willing to put on a good show.
And I'm sure that on the main playing field, you'll have the big teams playing, because that is where the live feed and the broadcast will come from. Well, Vance, you're listening and you're getting an appreciation of what's going on up here. Looking at the cricket, though, and the quality you would have been here and you would have seen and heard about some of the players coming into the United States. I'm sure that everyone wants to come to the United States and do well. I think for other than financial reasons, I think it's a wonderful place to be and to play cricket.
Yeah, sure. Well, if you as a player can play in different tournaments, it certainly gives you a different perspective. And I believe that the US crowds will truly appreciate seeing all the various talents that come.
And of course, there is the diaspora,
Sure.
and they will be supporting it. They have been starved for cricket for quite a while. But do you see people from, say, the Caribbean? Jamaica is right next door. Trinidad and Tobago has this affinity to Miami. They always call Trinidad and Tobago Little Miami, Do you think that people, other than yourself and Mr. Bal, that Maharaj, would jump on a plane and come up to see cricket?
Yes, why not? Especially in Trinidad, we love our cricket. And it's no problem for us to go anywhere, for that matter. We go Australia, we go South Africa. Why not Miami?
Yes.
It's so much nearer.
Yes, it's right, on the back step. Just your closing comment before we wrap this edition of the US Open. Sufyan, as we go forward, you will be an integral part of the show as well, being the operations manager, in promoting the show. I'm sure I'm not going to ask you to let all the cat out of the bag today, but I'm sure that there's something that you want to say that will entice people to come to this year's tournament.
Let's just say that this tournament, I think, will be played at a completely different level than all the iterations of it that have came before, since we've had the ICC sanctioning from many months now. So we have a lot of big players that are coming in, lots of IPL, ICL, pretty much any of the leagues in the world that you can think of right now. We have many players coming in from all of those leagues. So I think this one, let's just say it's going to be the biggest one.
Well, you've heard it there from some of the guys. I want to sincerely thank Mohammed Qureshi, my co-host, of course, Sufyan Kamal, Vance Gabriel, Zishon Qureshi, and not forgetting my good friend, Rajesh Sharma. And, he will be playing, and hopefully next time he sees a seamer hold the ball, he will know it's a letter ball. On that note, goodbye.
Cricket,